Well, hello there, Watcher Gamers. Well, it seems I failed to realize that Basswood County had only 8 parts, and as a result, this video will be the final video I do on it in a very short series. I did not intend to be very short. This video is going to be a how to survive it from what I think, obviously unscripted because, I'm just that cool. And stuff, because like why not? All right, let's start off with the basics. In the very first episode, we see plenty of stuff. For example, the characteristics of said humans. Now, it is of my belief that if you see literally anything that looks humanoid, that has any issues with it, you should immediately kill it. By wondering, what watching? How am I supposed to avoid something that creeps up into me while I sleep? Very good question. And that is something I may or may not answer in the future. So obviously we're going to ignore short brown hair. These will be the signs to look for. But you also want to look for insomnia. You want to look for possible mental issues within patients. Um, you also want to make sure that you look for holes in the person, like big holes, or tentacles. They're also known to decatap, decap, decapitate and amputate many of their victims. So, it's of my belief that you should wear protective armor around places where you have joints instead of letting this happen. Now, this guy made a crucial mistake, and I'll tell you about that later. In the second video, um, this is the investigation one. So they're going to teach us how to identify victims based off different papers. As you can notice, they look eerily similar to humans, but their main difference is going to be a large smile and a bunch of wrinkles on their face, because why not? You also probably want to make sure you don't see them standing in front of you in a very ominous manner after you find a picture that's something like this on the ground. Um, if you see this, I don't know what to say. You're already dead. I'm not gonna leave you in lie, bro. All right, identity test. This one is where we get a lot of information about the identity of said people. Um, this guy is allegedly normal. I said he wasn't normal because if you look at his face, it is really disturbing. His smile. But what you should look for are malformed issues with the face. Um, Most of these tend to actually have bridged noses, which is interesting. And obviously, their smile tends to become some kind of void. Again, the whole ominous thing. If you see this, I'm sorry to tell you that is not going to be your next boyfriend. If you see somebody staring like this, I don't know what to say either. It appears that this parasite takes its victims and uses them as a sort of camouflage in the human world to eat or something. Um, the rest of this is basically just said stuff about them. What's obvious is during this pandemic, boarding up your windows is very important. Make sure they're barred as well. Put some bars here that prevent window from being open, and then some wooden yeah, some wooden planks to cover it up so they can't see through it. That should be effective. And they seem to enjoy walking through doors. And you know what? I'm not going to judge it. Because who doesn't like walking through doors? Also pay attention because they might be infecting statues. Let's see here. This one's relatively short. If you happen to see your local police department sending out ads that may or may not have special people in them, you should probably move, which is the best way to avoid all these issues, since all of it happens in basswood counties. Although it wouldn't be a permanent solution, since they're definitely trying to invade the world, I'm sure you'd do absolutely amazing. Somebody can go from completely normal to completely batshit insane very quickly. So you need to make sure you pay attention to the signs. For example, make sure you've asked them to see their chest in a really flirtatious way, just to make sure they do not have a very large hole right where their heart should be. Which says a lot about these creatures, you know. The chamber. This one is mostly just people straight up going to places, but it gives us some information. They are interdimensional time warpers. And the chamber is a house that got teleported back in time to Basswood County, and in it, all of these weird creatures came to exist. For example, this guy. As you can see, he is malnutritioned. So, if it can bleed, it can die. So make sure you have your standard AK-47 so you could rapidly fire things at this thing and hope you live. You know. I'd be very careful around trees since they low key might turn into trees, which would make a lot of sense. If you don't, then you never know when you'll be sitting on a tree and some parasite will crawl up your ass and into your torso and eat your heart. Obviously, if you fail, your organs will slowly be destroyed. Little cracks in the head often indicate that the person used to have a parasite, so you better run away. Yep. Here's a tip. Do not stand and videotape in ominous places where there is almost certainly, without a doubt, going to be something popping out at you. Like this guy. Pretty average, you know. Low key, he should be taller. And he needs blue eyes. He needs to be an accountant. Or, you know, someone rich, six figures. Anyways. Obviously, do not go into the origin of these guys. In this video, we see some very simple anatomy. If you need to kill one of these creatures, you should probably aim at the middle of their chest and their head. It seems that the core uses its veins to manipulate, and without its eyes, it actually might not be able to see you. Or its eyes would be in the chest, but you'll see based off how clothed or dressed they are. Take a look here. As I said, roots will go into the brain and they will hijack the person's ability to do anything. And yeah, transformation of the humanoid. A broken human. Basically, they just burrow out of the human. It's a really weird process. You know what I mean? And okay, so this one is special. Um, if something happens to have more than 20 teeth, you probably shouldn't approach it. That is my safety advice here. Especially if it happens to look like a mummy. I didn't really comment on this part at all. But, missing persons and stuff. if you hear this, you probably shouldn't, stay in the area. Um, Here's an issue. Your car is tiny, so you can't leave. So what do? Yes, that is right. Make sure you lock your doors sufficiently, have no window entrances, and make sure that if you have a fireplace, that nothing can enter through it. You also want to make sure you have a state of the art alarm system to make sure that any possible intruders are caught swiftly and with ease. If you happen to see someone standing in a bucket through your door cam, call the police, since they seem to know quite a lot about it. Here's an idea: do not run like a complete buffoon, where they will find you, because they're likely very fast since they have very large, um, you know, legs. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Mm. Um, if you wish to dispose of one of their bodies, make sure you wrap them up so the parasite cannot escape. That's at least what I got from this, you know what I mean? Apology about that. So, before you sleep, this one gives a lot of crap. First of all, go to bed at an even hour. This doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Because the hour you sleep does not necessarily mean anything. Rather, instead, this is actually probably a superstition. Odd hours like 3 a.m. or 9 or 7 tend to be things that people think bring bad luck. So if you go to bed at, according to this, hold on, 10 p.m., 12 a.m., or 2 a.m., then, but to avoid the risk, it appears that the parasite is only active during odd hours because it wants you to forget stuff. What I'm actually getting from this is that, see, every 2 hours is about 120 minutes. An hour and a half would be 90 minutes, which is about the average time it takes for a person to go into REM sleep. So this could theoretically be mentioning something about a person entering. No, because they do it regardless of the time. Whatever. Pay attention to that, I guess. Second one, you gotta make sure you look at your clock, bro. If your clock stops moving, or the one on your phone stops moving, that is a sign of a severe mental crisis, and you need to turn on the light and go use some running water. And make sure you bring your standard rocket launcher with you, just in case. And if you don't keep your door locked while you sleep, this will happen. A cute uwu emo e-boy dater is going to come into your house and uh, eat you up, as they say. 4. Make sure you bury your consciousness. Of course, do not let them in. This is stupid. Try to resist it. Go to a doctor. Heck, even try to take out the parasite core yourself. Do literally anything else but let them use your body during odd hours. Because if you don't, then you're going to wake up with a seriously bad case of rips on your lips, which nobody likes. Um, it goes without saying, if you see a disgusting dog-looking humanoid that has its knees bent backwards, run away, or shoot it. Now for the last one. Oh my god, no, shut up. Oh, no one cares about this. Voice mod 150, lag free, real time, voice chain. Okay, no. Anyways, Forgotten Humanoid. So this one talks about is what we basically already know, the types of humanoids. Make sure you do not enter any suspicious mirror-looking things on the wall inside somewhere called a chamber. Most of this is very situational, and I doubt you'd actually get into it if you were any normal person. But your safety guides are pretty much bring a weapon and pray nothing comes to your house. Um, how I feel when a goth mommy girl says open wide. I don't know, man. I made that joke last video. Go watch that. As you can see, there are some very creepy things. If you see any of these, run away. As you can see, if you see any drawings, run away. If you happen to be wandering in the woods in the middle of the night recording for absolutely no reason, please make sure you do not do that, because this will happen. Yep, that's right. You are dead. GG. Game over. A giant tree-looking thing with tons of roots jump scares you. It looks really creepy, you know? So, like, if you come across this while walking, do not touch it. If you come across this while walking, do not touch it. Run away. If you come across this while walking, do not walk towards it. Run the fuck away. If you come across this while walking or entering a room, do not touch or look at it. Run away. If you see either of these men, run away. Like, come on, dude. Like, who's actually recording this? Who did this? Like, it's basically just recording your death. Like, yo, a stranger entered my room at 3 a.m., guys. This will be my video. 3 a.m. stranger. Is he nice? Let's see. I bought him off the dark web, and he is going to be the greatest part of my channel so far. I can almost guarantee that you are going to enjoy this video. So, like and subscribe. My you see what I mean? This thing is the said parasite. So unless you want to have that in place of your heart, I wouldn't allow it, personally. Now, those are just my opinions. I need to make sure that this video is at least 20 minutes long for anybody who, you know, is there. So, I will yap to you. So basically, let's summarize this up. Do not touch things that are creepy. Do not go outside in the middle of the night. Do not interact with things that look human but obviously aren't human. Always carry a gun with you, especially when you're in the USA. Make funny jokes at a picture with a giant mouth because your viewers hate you. Do not make 3 a.m. horror videos of a stranger entering your house. Do not enter the chamber. Make sure to kill anything that has weird tentacles coming out of its back. Make sure to kill anything that has rips and holes inside it. Make sure to kill anything with any of that. So, that'll be the end of my video. It was fun talking to you guys. This will be uploaded the moment it is out. So it has been an amazing time. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. Comment before the video ends.